Hey there! Welcome to my video series on creating a newsletter service from scratch using Node.js, Firebase functions, and Typescript. So here I want to show you the finished product. You're going to have a backend endpoint that allows you to submit post requests for subscribing, unsubscribing, and actually sending a newsletter. So I can really quickly demo this by doing something like geo at joy at test.com. And there we go. A API request was sent to a Firebase function, received the data, and saved it to a third-party service called Mailgun. So really quickly, I want to walk over what we're actually going to build in a little bit of more detail. So like I mentioned, we're going to be using Firebase functions. I am going to be coding in a functional style, although it's not going to be advanced functional programming. It's going to be mostly the basics. One of the things you'll notice in the way that I code is that I never mutate data. And that leads to sometimes overwhelming code if you've not done functional programming before. So just be warned. And yeah, the other thing is pure functions or higher order functions. So you'll see sort of like an abstract style that doesn't mutate data in the way that I code. So just an FYI. The other thing you're going to notice is that I leverage the type system quite significantly in order to ensure that we have a sort of high level of assurance in the code that we write. So you'll never see me doing typecasts, or very rarely, only if I need to, and then you won't ever see me doing any. You'll never see me type anything as any. And the other thing you're going to see me do is create a wrapper from scratch to integrate with Mailgun. So I'm not going to be using the Mailgun Node.js SDK because it is deprecated. So that might be also something of interest to you in how I write something from scratch and make it type safe as well. So some prerequisites, like I mentioned, you should already know JavaScript, HTTP, TypeScript for sure. If you're not familiar with TypeScript, this might become a little overwhelming because I do not cover the introduction of it or any basics of it. I just sort of dive headfirst into software development. And then lastly, you're going to need a GCP account or Google Cloud Platform in order to follow along. So that's going to allow you to create Firebase functions and deploy them. You will need a billing account, but don't expect to be charged. You'll only be charged if you hit high volumes, like 1 million requests per day, which, I don't know, maybe you're a startup and maybe you already have that volume, but otherwise you won't be charged. What you won't learn. So I want to really cover these things, so I'm not going to be talking about testing. I could make a separate video or a bonus video, but that's not initially in my plans. But if that's of interest to you, then yeah, let me know in the comments. Same with CI/CD. I wanted to condense the video series as much as possible. It's already a lot of content, so CI/CD was not included, but if you're interested, I could maybe do another bonus video. And then the other thing is, I'm not really going to do a video where I cover the making of this front end from scratch, but it will be open source. So I'll post a link to the front end code. You can copy it, modify it, learn about it. But I don't think I'm going to do a from scratch video where I code this form. This video series focuses exclusively on the backend system. Some final prompts, so please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I also Twitch on stream every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, where I do lots of functional programming development, and also I develop in Elm about half the time. Otherwise, I'm developing in TypeScript. And any last things, just post down below in the comments, and let's get started.